Okay, so it's going to be the second video, the last one, doing the back page. So the first one, number 19, the graph of part of a linear function g is shown on the graph, okay? They want to know which inequality best represents the range of the parts shown. So remember, range, redox, okay? And then this little, how we read it, robot, dollar, okay? This tells us how to read it, right? So range is the what values? It's the y. Okay, so this is where some of you are going to get a little confused. If you look here in the middle, all right, they gave us g of x, g of x, and x. Remember, I know that range is my y values, so it needs to be the y, so it cannot be the x. And I don't know if you remember, guys, f of x is just a function notation, and it means y, okay? It's the same thing. Now, the reason why I might be confused is because all they did was name the function g, right? So instead of this being an f, it's g of x. Well, guess what? It's still the same thing. It's still the y. So if the answer looks like this, that's okay. It's still a y. Okay, so those two, that's what we're left with. Now, how do we read redox, robot, dollar? How do we read range? It's from B to T, which is bottom to top. So I will kind of set you up, right? So we're still going to do the y, even though we know it's g of x here in the middle, because those are what our two options are. All right, now, meaning you're only looking at the y-axis, meaning I'm only looking at the numbers in red, okay? So you come here. Remember, you always come to the bottom. Boom, I hit the bottom right here, right? Okay, so I hit the bottom right here. What number is that on the red line? That was at -4. So my first law is at -4. Here at this point, is it open or closed? It is closed. So what do? Put the little line. If you look at both of our answer choices, -4, -4, they both did that. So far, they're both correct, okay? So now we just got to pay attention to the top. Remember, robot, bottom to top. So go to the top, boom, right here. What number is that on the red? And then is this one open or closed? This one's open. What do? Do we put the line or do we leave it? So I'll go on ahead and let you guys figure that one out. Circle your answer, and if you don't know, please ask me. Because they will ask you this, and you need to know how to read it and what to do with the inequalities when it's open or closed. So I will check your answer for this one. All right, number 20 is probably the hardest problem on the exam because they want you to apply the idea of domain and range. So for number 20, a 36-gallon bathtub is draining at a rate of 1.8 gallons per minute. The number of gallons remaining, G, is a function of the number of minutes, M. What is the domain for this situation? So again, domain, remember it's redox again, so domain is my x values, right? Okay, so if you notice, we're no longer just talking about x or y, right? We're now talking about gallons and minutes. Okay, so let's think about this. We have this bathtub. I'm trying to draw a little bathtub right here. And it has water. Maybe I should do that in blue. Okay, there's 36 gallons. And slowly it's draining. So slowly it's going to go down, right? Very slowly each time it's going to go down, right? So we have to figure out, okay, well, which one is the x, which one is the y. So they tell you the number of gallons remaining, G, is a function of the number of minutes, M. So you need to know this, guys. When something is a function, I don't know if you remember, and I'll go ahead and erase the little bathtub. All right, we have our x and our y. I don't know if you remember, but y is a function of x, right? You put in an x, you get out a y. You put in an x, you get out a y. So y is always a function. So this y is a function of x. So y is a function of x. Okay, so you just kind of need to know that. So that means that gallons is going to be my y-axis here. Okay, and then X will be my minutes. Okay, so you need to know that you kind of have to know to set it up. So when they tell you G is a function of the number of minutes, that's the same thing. Y is a function of X. Okay, so you do need to know that. So now we can eliminate redox as the X. So I know I'm looking at my minutes. So I know I can get rid of the gallons because G is for gallons. So I can get rid of D and I can get rid of A. All right, and let's think about this, guys. So your bathtub is filled up. Let's say this number is 36. Okay, it's filled up at 36. All right, look at your two options for M. All right, we're talking about minutes. Are we starting right here? This is our bathtub at 36. Are we already starting at 1.8 minutes? Or is it draining at a rate of 1.8 gallons per minute? So 1.8 is talking about gallons, right? Yes, it's per minute, but that means that in 1 minute, we will have gone down 1.8, right? And then 2 minutes, another 1.8. And then 3 minutes, another 1.8, right? So, it cannot be C because 1.8 is talking about gallons. And you should know, guys, when the time starts, here, when we start at 36, we are starting here at 0 minutes, always, right? So we are starting here, so it cannot be C. But really quickly, I do want to just show you, well, how many minutes will it take? If it's doing 1.8 gallons per minute and there's 36 gallons, let's see. Let me go ahead and clear this. 36 divided by 1.8. Oh, I forgot the point. 1.8, right? That means it would take 20 minutes. So, look at that. From 0 to 20 minutes was how long it would take. So, I know that one's kind of confusing, but guys, if you can just make sure to know which one is which, that gallons would be your y-axis, minutes would be your x, and just use elimination, right? We know that we don't start at 1.8 minutes, right? We're starting at 0 when the bathtub is full. So just remember that, okay? So go ahead and circle the right answer. Make sure you were listening to what I had to say. So number 21, what value of n makes the equation true? So again, I have this whole thing is equal to this whole thing. So again, what do we do when you draw the line down the middle? Again, you put one side in Desmos. Then you put the second side in Desmos. And then you're looking for where they do what? Where they intersect. So you have one line. This is the second line. Okay, so you're looking where they intersect each other. And so they're going to intersect here. But again, we don't use the letter M. We use what letter? X, right? So again, when you have one side equal to another side, you just want to look at the X value. So go on ahead and find what the answer is for that. Number 22, again, what is the solution to the equation? We have one side equal to another side. Again, one side, second side. Look for the intersection again. X comma Y. Alright, so those are your two lines. Intersection X comma Y again. They're solving for R. We don't use R, we use X. So again, we're just looking for the X. Anytime you do one side equal to another side, one side equal to another side, we just want the X value, okay? Do not forget that. Alright, almost done. So number 23, a student wants to purchase a gym membership. The graph models the student's cost for each month of the membership. Which statement describes the y-intercept? So first of all, y'all know this is the y, right? So this is where, this is the y, this is the x, so this is where the y-intercept's where it crosses. So it crosses here at what number? Right, this is 30, 40, so between 30 and 40, that's 35, right? So we know I'm looking for the number 35, right? So does the y-intercept represent the cost of $5 per month? Is that the number that I'm looking for? No, so that cannot be it. So the cost of the membership decreases as the month's membership increase. The starting fee for the membership is $35. The minimum number of months the student must have the membership is 35. First of all, the Y is talking about total cost in dollars. So these numbers have dollar signs. And I only see one option with the dollar sign that has the right number. And I know that for sure, I know the cost of the membership decreases as the month. Is this graph decreasing? Right? Is this going down or is this going up? Okay, so if it's going up, it's not decreasing, it's increasing, so we know it can't be that one. And then I'll let you figure out, is it H or J for this one. So remember, always pay attention to what is the Y actually talking about. So what should the number look like? What does the y-intercept represent? And then the very last one, number 24, the graph of the linear function W is shown on the grid. What is the zero of W? So again, rocks, roots, zeros, x-intercepts, solutions. So that's rocks. So what is zero? Zero is just another word for an x-intercept. So we're only looking here. Where does it cross the x? Boom, it crosses there. At what number does it cross the x? It crosses there. So go on ahead and write it on your paper. And this will be the last problem. And these are the last kinds of questions that you will see on your final exam. If you have any questions, please ask me. Do not just sit here and get the answer wrong. These are the problems that you will see.